Hello guys, so this is Adav Krishna from the EduBytes channel. So I think it's very long time seeing you guys all. Today's class is basically about motion, which is based on class 9 and 11. This motion chapter is actually consisting of two parts. The first part I will able to briefly explain you about the Galileo's three equations of motion, even Newton's laws, and there is also the acceleration formulas which is being derived here. And not only that, we will also be able to be discussing on the first thing, which is what is speed, velocity. Let's actually go back to the basics. That is something which is very interesting. So today we're gonna see about motion, part one of this video. Okay, so according to you, what is motion? Motion, as far as we are concerned, is the change in position through a respective time. That is what is motion. We are going to basically look about a particle which is moving at some velocity, initial velocity, and again after some time it moves with some final velocity v through a time t. This is basically motion, and we are going to mainly see about motion which is in a straight line. That is something which you're gonna worry about, nothing else. So in this part 1, I am going to take the three equations of motion, three equations, mainly the three equations, formulas for various things to calculate, and an introduction for part 2, an intro for part 2. That is something which we're going to definitely see about. Uh, so I think this video is going to be very useful for you all guys. Please follow this, which is very important, right? So let's get started. So when we discuss about motion, the first thing which comes to our mind is distance and displacement. So let's not worry about the definition. First, according to you, what do you mean with displacement? Well, you start from your home and go to your school. Like this way, take different paths and reach here. Or walk from your home to your school like this. Anyways, this is the distance. The path length you just covered here, that is the distance. So the definition for distance is the path length covered by an object. You don't worry about the time here. Time is not in used here. We only worry about the path or the length which we cover, right? That is what is motion. I mean distance. I'm sorry. Now, if you look about displacement, it is the place. In the word itself, the wordings itself, we can be able to understand that the word place is used. So, according to us, displacement is basically change in position. It is basically change in position. That is very important. It is something very important to understand. It is basically change in position. That is displacement. So, the displacement here is considered to be this. We should draw an arrow. That is something very important whenever we discuss about displacement. Because displacement is none other than a vector quantity and not a scalar quantity. This is what we consider as displacement. And this thing, which is actually referred to here, is all distance. So here we can be able to understand that distance is always greater than or equal to displacement. Very important concept, very important. This is something which is very, very important. you need to understand this theory and understand the difference between displacement and distance. So if someone, let's take this itself. Someone, travels this much distance. This is the path. I use a different color. And the displacement here, they are asking. So the displacement here is this. This is the displacement. So let's try to, understand these things by using various, you know, the whole thing by using the sums. With the help of sums, we can be able to briefly understand all of this. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. So suppose a man with present at origin is going due south 3 meters and taking a left going 4 meters. So what is his displacement? This is the distance he covers. The displacement here to find, wait. So here they are asking us to find the displacement. How do you find the displacement? This is the displacement. Maybe this is a right angle. So to find the displacement, here they are just asking us to find the displacement. So the displacement here would be this arrow. Why are we putting arrow? Because displacement is a vector quantity. I think soon the video for vectors will also be uploaded in this YouTube channel. Please follow. So the displacement here would be this. So by Pythagoras theorem, we can say 3 square plus 4 square. The root of all of this is root of 25, which is 5. So this is the displacement. What is the distance? The distance is basically 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4, 7 meters. This is the distance. Okay. So here I want to mention a thing. As far as we are concerned, there are different units for different things. So suppose they are asking the distance. Distance is always represented by the letter D, and displacement is represented by the letter S. This is also something which is very important to understand. Very useful in understanding all of this. So please make a note of all of this. Thank you. Now, let us now worry about speed and velocity. This is another topic. So speed and velocity. This is also something is very very important. Here there is one of the basic difference between this. Okay, let us just go back to the basics. According to you, what is speed? Well, we have studied in the 7th standard that according to us, speed is basically equal to distance by time. This is one of the most important and the basic formula we have ever studied. And velocity may be the basic same thing. Well, velocity is basically speed, but with direction. Direction. Exactly like distance and displacement. Displacement, however, is a change in position. Here, velocity is same thing as speed, but it is a vector quantity, and so we deal with direction. So this is a vector quantity. This, however, is a scalar quantity. The only thing that is important in speed is only magnitude. The thing which is important in velocity is both magnitude and direction. Both of them are important for us to understand velocity. Something very important to understand. So suppose a man is moving with the moving with the velocity of 3 meters per second, or moving the speed of 3 meters per second. But in what direction is he moving? So suppose a particle is moving with the speed of 3 meters per second. But in where direction is he moving? Maybe the school is here. He is traveling from his home. So he needs to go with the speed of 3 meters per second. But at what direction? So velocity is something which is very important. With velocity we can find the direction, and so he can be able to find this direction to the school. Maybe because if you're just considering speed, he can go in this direction, he can go in this direction, and so he may not reach the school.